Is Pinterest good for blogging in 2024? This is a topic I used to talk a lot about before, and we're bringing it back for 2024 because the truth is Pinterest is thriving right now. It is currently still a powerhouse of a traffic source for bloggers, and if you're not using it yet in 2024, you should be. But before we get into any of the strategies that you need to be using in 2024 and showing you what I find is working for the year, let's talk about the stats just so you can see how good Pinterest is doing right now. As a Pinterest manager, I am working with 7 different accounts, not including my own, and they are all doing very, very well at the moment. And of course, every account has its ups and downs, which is totally normal, but let me show you how things are going right now. First, let's take a look at my account, and over the last 60 days, I have gotten 564,000 impressions and 1,000 link clicks. Over the last 60 days, over 500,000 people have seen my Pinterest pins come across their Pinterest feed. And this first account that I'm managing here is getting 2 million impressions over the last 60 days and 11,000 link clicks, which is absolutely wild. And this third account that I'm working on is doing 27 million impressions in the last 60 days and has brought over 100,000 link clicks, which is by far the craziest number that I've ever seen across all the accounts that I'm working with right now. But all the accounts are doing varying levels of good on Pinterest right now. And I'm not gonna take you through every stat of every account since I manage 7 of them, but I think you get the gist of it. Pinterest is absolutely thriving. And if you'd like to learn everything that there is to know about my pinning strategy and how I'm getting these great results for myself and my clients, check out the new course that I just launched called Pinterest Simplicity. Since I've been getting such great results for my Pinterest clients and I can only have so many clients a month, I decided to package everything that I know into a Pinterest course so that I can make it available to as many people as possible. So I will leave that link down below in the description. But the first thing to understand about Pinterest is the platform is run on keywords. So you need to be good at keyword research and SEO. Now the good news is if you are blogging, chances are you know a little bit about SEO, you know how SEO works on Google, and the good news is Pinterest is not much different. I in fact find SEO on Pinterest to be a lot easier than Google, so it shouldn't be too hard to understand if you're already blogging and you know a little bit about SEO. And also that's good if you don't know anything about SEO because it's easy to catch on. And this is some of the stuff that I go very in-depth with inside of the course, teaching you how to use the Pinterest Trends tool, finding keywords that work, how to keep track of them, setting up boards, descriptions, all of that stuff. But the main thing to know about keywords is to find what people in your target audience are looking for and use those keywords everywhere. Board titles, board descriptions, pin titles, pin descriptions, bio, everywhere. And the next thing you want to focus on is your Pinterest pin design because Pinterest is very visual. It is a lot like Google because of the SEO aspect and the search result aspect of it because Pinterest is a search engine and it's not a social media site like Twitter or Facebook or something like that. However, where Google is very text-based search, Pinterest is a visual search engine. So it's all about catching your reader's attention with graphics and visuals. Now I create all of my pins in Canva and I take advantage of a lot of the free templates that they have there. I use the pictures on Canva. I also use paid stock photo subscription sites like Pixie Stock is the one that I'm subscribed to right now because the paid photos that people have a lot less access to tend to do better than the ones that are just freely available all over Canva. It's really hard to explain, and I go way more in depth in this in the course, but essentially, the more someone uses a picture, you or somebody else, the more confused Pinterest gets about what that picture is because Pinterest can read a lot of different things about your Pinterest pin, one of them being they can understand what picture you're using. So if a bunch of people have used that picture, your pins may not do as well as if you put your own fresh image on there. So sites like Pixie Stock are really good because they put new photos in every single month. They're paid for, so a lot less people are using them. So your pins are going to do better if you have like a stock photo site like that. But the main thing to know about Pinterest pins is Pinterest really loves fresh pins, which means if you can, doing a fresh link, a fresh title, a fresh description, and a completely new design and an image. Now this does not need to happen every single time. I encourage you to repin all of your links as much as you possibly can, as much as they are relevant and as long as they are doing well. But if you want like a totally fresh Pinterest pin, you want to be putting out new links consistently and new titles and images and pin designs and different things like that. But of course, I recirculate a lot of my old content, so just putting out a new design with a new description is fine if you're using an old link or something like that. And you want to make sure as far as the design of the Pinterest pin that the text is big enough and it is readable so that Pinterest and your audience can actually read what's on the Pinterest pin at a glance because there's a lot of pins on the feed. They're going to be doing a lot of scrolling, so if your pin does not stand out, then they're just going to keep scrolling past it. You also want to use bright and colorful photos. Like I mentioned, Pixie Stock is a good resource, which I'll link that down below if you're interested in Pixie Stock, because that is a great resource for nice photos that are good quality and look professional. And you can also find stuff to match your brand and all that different stuff. And then you want just a clean design, which I use a lot of the templates on Canva. I do edit them so that they are my own, because similarly with pictures, if someone uses the same template a lot, Pinterest can kind of like recognize that that template has been used before, and you don't want to associate your pin with somebody else's, especially if they're completely unrelated, but they're at least a good starting point for you. And then you want to move on to your pin titles. And those are important as well, because that's going to be the thing that makes people actually want to click on it. They're going to be able to read the Pinterest pin and see what it's about, and it's going to draw their attention. They're going to want to learn more, and then they're going to click to read through to your blog. You want to add keywords into your title so that Pinterest can rank you in search and they understand what the Pinterest pin is about, but you also don't want to make them super boring and just only keyword researched heavy, because if the title is boring and someone doesn't want to click, then you're not going to get very much traffic. So you want to make sure that they're interesting enough for people to want to click on them. And usually interesting could mean either more descriptive, or you use power words, or just interesting words in your title that isn't just something like why self-care matters. Why self-care matters could be a title that you could use, but it's not very interesting. There's not much to it. So it's like an okay title, but a better title would be something like how to practice self-care when you've neglected it for so long. That is like super specific, because if someone is looking into self-care, maybe they've neglected it for a long time. So if you say how to practice self-care when you've neglected it for so long, that hits a pain point in somebody's life, and they might want to click on it a lot more because it speaks directly to them. Or something like the 5-minute self-care routine to start your day out right. Maybe someone is busy in the morning and they don't have a lot of time to fit in self-care. So if you do 5 minutes a day, a lot of people can handle 5 minutes of self-care a day. Start your day out right. Morning routine stuff, like those would be better titles than just why self-care matters. Now, titles don't necessarily need to be that long. It could be something shorter, like 7 healthy ways to treat burnout, or something just better and more descriptive than why self-care matters. Now, there is a lot more that goes into Pinterest marketing. There is so much nuance to it that it would be impossible to put it all in one video. But as of right now, these are the biggest things that I am paying attention to when it comes to growing on Pinterest in 2024. Researching good keywords for your audience, having a pin design and a title that catches attention, and also consistency as well. So if you're pinning here and there every so often, you're not going to get very far on the platform if you're not pinning every single day or every single week, because you need that consistency to not only figure out what works with your audience, because you're putting out so many Pinterest pins, you can see based off the stats of how those things are doing, like is this doing well? Is this design doing better? Is this pin doing better? Is this post doing better? You can just see better what is going to do well because you have more stats to look from. And also there's just more opportunities for your stuff to get clicked on because you're pinning more consistently. So make sure you've got pins going out every single day, at least one. I recommend 2 to 5. But at least put out 1 a day, and you are going to see growth within Pinterest in the next year, because I do not see Pinterest slowing down. I'm very involved in the Pinterest platform with 7 different clients, including my own, so 8 different accounts, and I do not see Pinterest slowing down anytime soon. So if you are not using Pinterest in 2024 as a blogger, you definitely need to be. And if you want to learn the ins and outs of my strategy and how I'm doing very well on the platform, make sure to check out Pinterest Simplicity down below in the description, and I will see you next time. Bye.